Play ball! The Gary Henderson Show is brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, Papa John's, Paul Miller Ford Mazda, P-Rats, Shelter Insurance, Specialty Foods Group, and by UK Healthcare.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Gary Henderson Shows. We're talking UK baseball. I'm joined now by the coach, and it's been a tough stretch and a very competitive stretch with Louisville and Vandy, and a lot of those games could go either way.
Yeah, Brian, I'd add Alabama in there as well.
Sure.
That stretch of pitching that we've seen from those three teams has been outstanding. We've pitched well against them. A lot of close games, a lot of tight games, and what you hope is that we grow from the experience and we're better moving forward.
Do you think middle of the SEC schedule now, the scouting reports for all teams are circulating a little bit more, and we may see some more of these low-scoring games?
Well, I think the scouting reports certainly have something to do with that. All the video that is available to you now is now a big part of the pregame process. The other thing I think too is that there's enough innings that the guys on the mound are getting quality secondary pitches honed, and they're better. The fastball command is better. You've seen that in our kids. And on the other side of it, I think the kids at the plate have now got 110 to 140 at bats, and they're better as well. So the game's getting better.
When you look at the Alabama series and the Vandy series, very similar. Great pitching throughout all 6 of those games.
Well, you're looking when you look at all 6 of the games, you're looking at 12 starts, and really impressive. Sure. I mean, really impressive. He had one start in there where the guy went less than 6, I think it was, and that was by design by Vandy on the Sunday game. But you're looking at a lot of good starting pitching and a lot of good pin pitching as well.
When we come back, we will take a look at the highlights of the Vandy series and the Louisville game. That's next on the Gary Henderson Show.
At American Campus Communities, our mission is to make your experience at the University of Kentucky a success. The townhomes at Newtown Crossing, 524 and 525 Angliana, Newtown Crossing and Royal Lexington. You're going to love it here.
Thank you for staying with us on this edition of the Gary Henderson Show. We're midway through the season, and this past week, UK has had some Donnybrooks with Vanderbilt and with Louisville. The Cats coming up on the short end of the stick in several of those games, but let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights because we had some dandies this week.
Liner, left center. It will get down and go to the fence. Extra bases on a hard hit ball. Returned quickly by Reynolds. A 1-out double for Evan White. Out of Seymour, Indiana. Going to work on Roll Coleman. Pulled toward first. Tracked down by the first baseman White. Brown gets over to cover. 1 out. Pulled toward the right side. Tracked down by White. Underhands to Brown, who covers the bag. 1 out. 1-2 pitch. It's going to be 2 for 2, it looks like. Drops in front of Roll Coleman. Had to range more toward the line to get the ball, and that's a double for White. Coleman was playing him well toward left center. Time he got back to the ball, White had a great chance to get to second. He has 2 doubles on the night, 2 for 2. Recover if you take a foul tip. Campbell bounces this one to the left side. Shelby with the charge, unloads quickly, 1 out. Good play on both ends. Shelby with the charge and throws out Campbell, 1 gone. On the move here. First steal attempt of the season will be unsuccessful as Squires throws him out at second. And make a pitch here to finish off the 6th in a 1-0 game. Did so. Swing and a miss on a good fastball. Mid-90s heat. Campbell now on 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout by Beggs to get out of the Vanderbilt second. Wave and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. Jones, K's to finish off the 4th. Justin Beggs been very good with the exception of a home run by delay. See if Coleman can beat this one out. He'll have to beat Beggs over to the first base bag, and he dove and got there to record the out.
Get guys from all different backgrounds and bring them together and form a great team.
This is going to work out well for Harrison. He pulls it down into the left field corner for extra bases. Retrieved by Coleman. Hairston at second. Leadoff double here in the 7th. Kentucky has the tying run in scoring position. See if Wilson's swinging on 3-1. He is. Ball gets away from the catcher delay. And the run will score from third as Hairston dives across. We're even at 1. One ball, 1 strike with 2 on. Pulled to the right side. Paul's going to bring it to the plate. Wide throw. Run scores. Up the middle. Cody able to glove it. Makes the underhand toss to first one out. Weekend SEC series. Coleman, right side. Glove by White. Get up, take it to the bag for the second out. Good play. Kendall leads at second after that 2-out double. And Cody makes a pitch to finish the Vanderbilt third. A strikeout of Reynolds. Sunday afternoon battle on a 2-2 pitch, and Cody wins this time. Retires him on a breaking pitch. Second time he struck out Kendall today, and strands another base runner. Cody sets and deals. Pop up should do the job. Here comes Shelby down from third. Foul territory. He's got it. Inning over. Liner toward right. Kendall took a step in. It will get over his head and get to the fence. 1 run scores. 2 have scored. A third run as Pompey comes to the plate. 3-run double off the bat of Squires. Off the bat, a line drive. Kendall looked like took a step in. Then the ball got over his head and all the way to the wall.
But finally got some runs on the board on either side.
1-1 pitch. Rocket back to the mound. Ricochets to the second baseman Becker, and he makes the play. Good job adjusting by Becker, and throws out Campbell. 1 gone.
You don't usually see the. It's kind of weird seeing some of that movement.
2-2 pitch. Didn't get it. Swing and a miss by Grisanti, and a big strikeout by Lewis. 2-1 pitch coming up to Kendall. Nubber out to third. Shelby throws, and Kentucky salvages a win with a 3-0 victory over Vanderbilt.
This part in the season, this one hit deep back in the right field down the line, and that ball is off the wall. Picked up by Ray, a run will score, and that's an RBI double for Zach Reeks. Good lead off second. Devin Mann, Ray was going, this one popped up. Corey's going to have to hurry to get back to the bag, and they collide, and he caught the outfield, and then caught by the center fielder. Unbelievable. Of course, they want to check on the 2 cats that collided, but I believe it was Wilson that finally made the grab. Has 28 RBIs, and this a high chopper. Going to be a tough play and can't be made, and another run scores. Kind of a seeing-eye bouncing single into left. And Kentucky now leads it 4-1.
Strike zone.
This one hammered into right field. Carson's going to make the turn. Here's the throw to the plate up the third base line, and all hands are safe. Another run scores. McKay grounded out twice and hit into a double play. Hits this one down the right field line and at the wall. Did he make the catch? Yes! Oh, what a catch by Carson in right field.
The 5'8" Carson.
Now, next week on the show, we will recap the Arkansas series, which is wrapping up this weekend. And when we come back, we talk switch hitting with assistant coach Rick Eckstein. That's next on the Gary Henderson Show.
UK Athletics would like to thank our official Cornerstone partners, Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics, and Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Here at Cliff Hagan Stadium, one thing you don't see too often in the college game, switch hitters. But UK has 2 of them, Tristan Pompey and Luke Becker. Just so happens Rick Eckstein, the hitting coach for UK, also a switch hitter when he played, and it's a unique dynamic we don't see often.
For a leadoff hit, this time it's Becker.
Well, to maintain both sides of your swings, the right-handed and left-handed side is unique. You know, you got to spend as much time on both sides, and typically that's hard to balance. The feel from both sides can be way different. the dominant hand has an effect on the bat. You know, for a right-handed thrower, when he hits right-handed, his dominant hand's on top, so typically you get a little bit more barrel control.
Center field for Luke Becker, and Kentucky's back in front, 3-2.
More than anything else, I think it's an attribute to athleticism. You know, the guys that can truly switch it have a feel and an athletic, wherewithal of where their body is in space and how to utilize and make their body work. And so I attribute that to the athletic ability of the player.
He'll end up at second base, and Kentucky's lead is now 5-1.
I think Tristan was born right-handed, switched to left-handed, and from what he's told me in his Little League days, his dad would make him even take some righty-on-righty bats just to get him, because there's so many right-handed pitchers out there and not as many left-handers. So you get probably 3 at-bats to every 1 left-handed to right-handed. And that was me. I was a switch hitter also. I was a natural righty. Learned to switch hit in college left-handed and handled it pretty well. So I have a feel for kind of working with guys that do switch hit. So yeah, it's unique. It's a unique skill.
There's a glimpse of the future.
Luke said last week when we were talking, he almost wants to stay lefty now because his mind has changed from being righty to a lefty. How hard is that? Because you may have to switch in the middle of the game.
Yeah, you know, some guys will naturally morph that way. I think it has to do with more of a vision thing, because usually if you're a dominant right-handed, you're a dominant right-eyed guy, and when you hit left-handed, your dominant eye is facing the pitcher, versus when you're on the opposite side, it's kind of getting a cross view from your nose, so sometimes you just feel like you just see the ball better. And I think that's what Luke does. So we're working on trying to see if we can get a little shorter right-handed and see the ball a little better.
Swings at the first pitch and drives it down the right field line. That's up against the wall.
Some are stronger right-handed, hit for power right-handed. We're more an average guy, sure. Batting average guy.
Sure.
On the other side.
Well, I think everybody has a unique swing plane, you know, and there are guys who are better high ball hitters and guys that are better low ball hitters. You know, guys that can truly get on a fastball and guys that are a little bit more of a cripple pitch hitter. You know, I think that just lends itself to your athletic ability and what your potential says. I think, you know, when you leverage your body a certain way, like Luke can, he can drive a baseball, and Tristan the same way. I think, you know, Tristan's just a little bit younger in the phase, where he's still trying to understand his body and what it means to get into a hitting position and use the ground, so to speak, as a force. And you know, when he's so tall and that doesn't really get into his legs, his best swing doesn't show up. And so that's what we've been working on, really, is just trying to understand how to get into position.
When we come back on the Gary Henderson Show, it is our Retro Coaches Tip of the Week. Stay with us.
Get the best seat in the house by downloading the official UK Game Day app. The app gives you exclusive access to watch pregame and postgame events live, and it provides access to starting lineups. Download it today by searching Kentucky Game Day on your App Store or Google Play.
Welcome back to the Gary Henderson Coaches Show. I'm Keith Vorhoff, assistant baseball coach here at the University of Kentucky. Today's coaching tip is going to be bunting. We're going to talk about bunting for a hit, sacrifice bunts, and we are very fortunate to have 2 quality student athletes with us today. Senior outfielder Zach Zellers and junior infielder JT Riddle. These guys are going to do a great job of showing us some of the techniques and the things that we do here at the University of Kentucky when it comes to the short game. Sacrifice bunts used to move a runner from first base to second base, or maybe even a runner from second base to third. The goal here is we want to make sure we put the ball down somewhere towards the middle of the field, and we want the ball soft. JT Riddle's going to show us the technique for a left-handed hitter when it comes to bunting a sacrifice bunt to move a runner. Now notice JT's back foot is going to get a little bit closer to the plate. He's going to open up just a little bit. This is a really important part when it comes to bunting. He's going to divide the bat into thirds. Okay, this is going to give him a lot of bat control. So now a small movement here with his hand is going to be a small movement with the barrel, which is going to allow him to control the barrel of the bat, which is going to in turn allow him to control where the bunt goes. Again, when it comes to the sacrifice, we're not worried about concealing the bunt. We can show early get out there, get comfortable. If the defense decides to run a crash play, if we show early, it gives us the option to pull back and slash. Zach Zellers, right-handed hitting outfielder. He's going to show us the sack bunt technique from a right-handed hitter. It's very, very similar to that of the left-hander that we saw with JT Riddle. Again, he's dividing that bat into thirds. Okay, his lower half gets a little bit closer to the plate. It's really important that he has this back heel up, which is going to allow his hips to open up towards the pitcher, which is going to allow him to keep the bat out in front of his eyes. Again, he's dividing the bat into thirds. He's got the barrel up in front of his eyes so that he can see the pitcher as well as the barrel of the bat. We're not worried so much about the angle of where the ball goes on the field. We're concerned about the weight of the bunt. We want it soft to the middle. Okay, up next we're going to talk about the drag bunt. This is a bunt for a hit towards the third base side. Maybe the third baseman's playing back. The pitcher on the mound's really tough to hit that day, and we want to spark something. We want to pressure the defense. And what we're going to do here is we're going to try to put a bunt down the third base line. We're going to keep it soft. That way it's a hurried play for either the catcher or the third baseman, and we want to make sure we keep it towards the line so that the pitcher doesn't have an easy play to throw that runner out at first base. And when the pitcher separates his hands and his leg starts to go towards the plate, is kind of his trigger as to when he's going to show. And one thing we work with our players and tell our players is to make sure that they see the ball bounce before they get out of the box. This will ensure that they put the bunt in the right spot and then beat it out. The other advantage to the drag bunt is if you hit a lot of balls towards the third baseman, you force him to play in and honor the drag bunt. We're going to talk about the push bunt. Typically a push bunt is with a left-handed pitcher because those left-handed pitchers tend to fall off towards the third base side. And so what that allows us to do is allows us to push a bunt firm past the pitcher between the second baseman and the first baseman. Now it becomes a foot race to the bag, to the first base bag, with the left-handed pitcher who's fallen off towards the third base side. Past the pitcher. We want every infielder and the pitcher to think that they have a chance to field the bunt, but they're just quite short of getting to it. Again, we want to push it firm enough so that the pitcher can't field it. But if it's slow enough and the pitcher thinks he can field it, he takes an angle away from first base and is late to cover the bag. We appreciate you tuning in to the Gary Henderson Show and checking out the coach's tip of the week with the sacrifice bunt, the push bunt, and the drag bunt. Hopefully you can take some of this and implement it into your game and with your teams and improve your ability to pressure the defense.
When we come back on the Gary Henderson Show, we will wrap it up. We did not have a lot of power this week, but we had some superb plays. It's our plays of the week, and that'll finish off the show when we come back. As we put a wrap on this week's UK Baseball Show, let's go back to the Louisville game earlier this week. In case you didn't know, Marcus Carson and Storm Wilson, they were rated as two of the top 10 plays on ESPN. Back in that third inning against Louisville, Luke Becker and Tristan Pompey collide, and Wilson makes the diving grab to prevent a possible hit. That was play number 1. Then in the 7th inning, Louisville looking to tie the game, Carson scales the wall and robs a home run. That would be play number 4 in the top 10. Not bad for a guy just 5'7", right?
He's 5'8". Give him that. No, I was telling everybody I thought that was a better test than mine. You know, he actually had to show some athleticism. I was just in the right place. So, yeah, it was great. I was excited for him. That was awesome. You know, it was really cool being both of us being on sports, and you know, it's a good time for us. So
in the fall and stuff, we'll do like a drill where we just like work on like wall drills and like just feeling for the wall. And we actually like did like a couple of drills where we was robbing home runs. And our wall's a little bit taller than Louisville's, but so I guess it might have helped a little bit yesterday.
This past weekend, the Wildcats taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks here at Cliff Hagan Stadium. And next week on the show, we will recap that series. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next weekend.
Play ball! The Gary Henderson Show was brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, Papa John's, Paul Miller Ford Mazda, P-Rats, Shelter Insurance, Specialty Foods Group, and by UK Healthcare.